Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So I thought I would bring you along with me today and just spend the day with me here on the homestead. Ooh. You know, one of the things that I love about winter on the homestead is being able to see all the rest of the mountains through the trees. Summer is beautiful, but it's covered with leaves and you can't see them then. We suspected when we bought this place that the creek would dry up because after all, you can't do rock and concrete work if there's a creek running through it. I get a lot of questions about Sophie and Amos. That's Sophie sniffing the camera right there. She's our miniature donkey, and Amos back there is the miniature mule. He's half Shetland pony, half miniature donkey. A lot of people wonder what their purpose is, and to be honest, we kind of took them in. Well, we took Sophie in, helping out somebody who couldn't keep her. They were moving and couldn't take her with them, and so we brought her to our homestead, and then of course she needed a friend because they are herd animals, and so we got Amos, Mr. Attitude right there, to be her friend, and they've been with us ever since. They are pets, but they earn their keep by providing every bit of compost I could ever possibly need for the garden. So after the chores got done, I headed into the house and started a batch of bread. Mr. Smith had requested that I make him some of my famous dinner rolls, and so I got that started because of course it's got to do its rise and all of that. And I made enough to do a batch of rolls as well as a couple loaves of bread. I usually brush my breads with milk before I bake them, but this time around I decided to put some butter on the tops when I took them out of the oven. It was something a little different, and I think we like them both ways. Afterwards, it was time to head on out and get a little bit of wood cut. You know, we've been installing those new cabinets in the kitchen, but they only come with one shelf inside. After that, I started sorting all of the recipes that I had been printing off of my website. I've got multiple great big binders filled already, and this is only half of my recipes. One of the shelves that I've added to the cabinets is actually for all of my camera equipment for doing my YouTube videos and photography for my website. I've got another shelf here for my pretty dishes that I use for special occasions and Shabbat. I do still need to get shelf liners though to line all of my shelves. I also need to get more of these shelf pegs because I ran out of those. I keep a laminated cheat sheet of all of my most baked recipes inside my cabinet door so that I can do a quick reference anytime I'm making something. These are the staple recipes that I make all the time. My basic bread that I use for everything, waffles, pancakes, cornbread, anything that I need to reference all the time, it's right there tucked in the door. Next, I decided it was time to rearrange my drawers. I create stations within my kitchen. I have areas where I have all of my baking supplies because that's where I do my baking. And I realized that the knives really need to go over next to the stove where I usually use the cutting board. It makes sense to have all of the things that you use together in the same area to begin with. Tossed out a tea that I didn't like. And then it was time to get dinner started. Today I was making Hungarian goulash, another recipe that the food critics seem to have a lot of opinions about. But I did want to mention that I've added a feature on my website. As you know, I have over 800 recipes there, and most people browse my website on their phone browser. And I've added a feature in the recipe card called Cook Mode. When you have your phone open and you're looking at a recipe, you can activate that, just like you see there, and now your phone won't go to sleep. So that way you can keep glancing over at the recipe as you're cooking it. Mr. Smith loves Hungarian goulash. And now as the sun stretches towards the western mountains, it's time to do the evening chores. Now, something that we are really looking forward to is getting rid of this gas stove. Now, while it is really cozy and it does make the cabin nice and toasty warm, we really love wood-burning stoves and fireplaces, and so we have an appointment to have a real wood-burning stove installed here, and we are so excited and looking forward to it. The Hungarian goulash has been cooking for a couple of hours, and now it is time to finish it up. Making a cornstarch slurry to thicken the sauce. adding it to the egg noodles, and tossing it all together. It is simple, it's rich and flavorful, and it's so good. This is something I grew up eating. And if Mama called it Hungarian goulash, I don't care what the critics call it. You can get this recipe on my website. I'll put a link to it in the video description down below. Thanks for spending time with me today. I will talk to y'all next time.